Denny Hamlin's magical milestone win locks him into what might be his final championship opportunity. And what do we think about William Byron crashing into Ty Dillon? We're going to talk about that. And are the Penske cars in trouble? Are we going to expect either Logano or Blaney to make it into the championship four? Alex, is Blaney Nation panicking over here? We're going to ask you that question today here on the Gay Racing Podcast. Hello, Zack and Alex back with you to talk about NASCAR at Las Vegas. Really good race. I would say really good race. Standard, next gen intermediate, but the playoff drama was, well and great yesterday. We have so much to talk about with all the round of 8 drivers. I think we're literally talking about all of them today. I think there was like a storyline with all of them yesterday, somewhat. So we have a lot to talk about. And the man, not even just the man of the episode, right? The man of the entire playoffs, maybe of the season, is Denny Hamlin.
Okay, the season. I was going to bring that up. Denny Hamlin has been the storyline of the year.
Yeah, maybe the title's man of the year. Maybe the title's man of the year or something. Like, he's kind of the man of the year. Like, good or bad. I mean, he's been like the headline in so many of our thumbnails in the past month.
The last month or so, he has been the story, whether he's winning or not.
Yeah. He's kind of, this is Denny Hamlin's little story, and we are all just living in it. And this was a really good page for Denny Hamlin yesterday at Las Vegas, getting a huge career win, number 60. Like, obviously, I think this getting him into the championship 4 is a big deal. Mm-hmm. But for this to be that milestone win just kind of magnifies that. I mean, I love the moment yesterday, his post-race interview, where he said, normally this is the part where I give the fans some whatever, like he starts heckling the fans, but not today. Like, today was a really special win for him. And that's just, I don't know, whether you like or hate Denny Hamlin, Alex, I feel like you just have to sit there and appreciate it.
He is a sentimental favorite of mine because he is the first driver that I remember watching his full rookie year, and his first debut starts in 2005. I remember some of Kyle Busch's early starts, but not all of them. Denny Hamlin, I was there, Kansas 05, one of his first starts. And when he retires, I'm going to be really sad. Like, I've never been a fan of his per se, but he has just always been there in my fandom of NASCAR from when I was like in kindergarten to now. And seeing him get so emotional was really cool because we never really see that from Denny Hamlin. It
was jarring. Almost why is he crying?
I knew win 60 would mean a lot to him, and it sounds like his dad is not doing well as well. That's another layer to this whole thing. But
did you ever watch the Netflix show? Because he talked about that in the Netflix show. Gave some context to that. But yeah, like his dad's kind of like whatever.
But like, this is a huge win for him. He's talked about how he could go without a championship, but he won 60 wins in the Cup Series. He now has that. He has done his goal. That is his career goal, 60 wins in the Cup Series. He's tied with Kevin Harvick for 10th most wins in series history. And now he has a shot to finally get that championship.
Might as well. He got all of his other goals. He might as well go get that championship.
Look, we've torn down the playoffs. Everyone has. This is one of the moments with the playoffs where it's actually kind of cool, because you have this win at Vegas, the guy who gets his 60th win he's been talking about for so long, and he locks into the championship 4. This guy's been trying to win a championship. He is currently the most successful driver without a championship in NASCAR history. He could change that in just a few weeks' time. Like, that's a really cool storyline, and
it's compelling.
I think it's something that should be celebrated, really. Whether he wins a championship or not, Denny Hamlin is going to be the top 10. Even if he never wins again, he'll be tied for 10th on the all-time wins list for a very long time. The only people who could possibly reach him are Kyle Larson, Logano, or in like 20 years, Connor Zilisch, maybe, depending on how his career goes. Like, seriously, like, this is a very big moment.
SVG. Actually, he's going to get 5 wins on road courses. Low-key SVG.
Well, I mean, he's figuring out those ovals. SVG was top 10 for quite a bit yesterday.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what about Denny Hamlin. Him doing this at 44, 45 years old, like, it's an incredible story from just like a sporting perspective, because NASCAR, like, I think as time goes on, I think the peak age has gotten like a little bit lower. Maybe not the peak age, but it's like that age of where it's like you're kind of done. I feel like it's gotten a little bit lower somewhat. And especially compared to other sports. And for this to be happening for Denny Hamlin at this age is incredible. And that really does add to the story, because this isn't just, all the other drivers in the round of 8. There's always next year and the year after. That's not the case with Denny Hamlin. It really feels like time is running out for him. And that really adds to this and makes it interesting. And yes, I hate the playoffs. The playoffs are awful. And I texted you yesterday, like, man, this race doesn't really have any storylines, or it's not really going to mean anything. But Denny Hamlin winning that race is a huge exception to that. Like, it's kind of contradicting what I said to you in text. Like, this is a huge story that it won't carry over into the next 2 weeks. So we're going to have to sit for a little bit. But once we get to Phoenix, and if Denny is able to pull off this championship, we're going to look back at Las Vegas as one of the key moments. And it wasn't the fact that he won Vegas either. It was how he did it. One of the
Such an impressive run to the finish for him.
One of the best drives he's had in his whole career.
Yeah.
I think he was on Sirius or some radio show today, and he said, I wasn't thinking those last 10 laps. He was just driving.
That's so cool. Like, you just don't think, you're just doing it.
That's what sports and NASCAR is all about. Like, seeing humans perform at 110%, right? Larson on TV yesterday after the race said, I didn't expect Denny to take that little, because he left a lane open. He left the lane open against the wall, and Denny took it. And Larson was like, I was not expecting him to do that. Denny was not going to be denied yesterday. And
on the restart, Denny took it 3 wide. He went through the middle, and on the initial start of the restart, he took it 3 wide on the outside. That's something Denny Hamlin never really does.
And the aggression was turned up to 100 yesterday for him. It was awesome.
And obviously the championship 4 is on the line, but I really do think losing Kansas, that was going to be win 60. All the turmoil that followed that after taking out Bubba Wallace and everything.
Even maybe last week with the Ross Chastain stuff.
Yeah. It's just, he's been in the storylines. I really think in his head, he's like, I'm going to get this damn win.
So they're going to talk about something else.
Yeah. And look, when Briscoe was ahead on the 2 tires and he had to get around Kyle Larson, I was texting you during the race, like, man, they got to get around. They got to decide this second place battle, because if they don't, Briscoe's going to win this thing. And obviously both those drivers knew that, Hamlin and Larson. Hamlin manages to get around him. And you mentioned it, going on the outside. Such a good move. And Larson as well, forcing him up there, basically, giving him little to no room. Like, you got to be right on that wall. You're going to be committed, or you're in the wall.
He was making the wall work better than Larson. I'm surprised Larson even left that lane open to begin with. I think it might have costed him second place. I don't know if the 5 was going to be good enough to get around the 19, because he was just taking too long anyways.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I was like, oh my gosh, Chase Briscoe is actually going to win this race. This is ridiculous. Nope. It's just Larson couldn't get by him. Hendrick, those Hendrick cars yesterday, weirdly enough, kind of flipped the script. They just weren't good enough on the long runs. They did, or short runs rather. Short runs. They had long run cars.
It's also a flip of Kansas, where Chevrolet dominated at Las Vegas, while Kansas, Toyota dominated, but the other manufacturer ended up winning the race.
That is strange, isn't it? It's so funny how this sport works. And
by the way, we said this is one of Denny Hamlin's best drives of his career. We also said that about Kansas, and you had talked about, hey, he is 44. Jeff Gordon was this age when Jeff Gordon retired. And there's a graphic out there. I'm blanking on who posted it, but there's a graphic on Twitter and social media.
Oh,
that's
Daniel
just saying
Cespedes, I think so.
Win
rate after start 700.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin's name is way bigger than anyone else who has made 700 starts in the Cup Series. That's notable. That is a huge, huge deal again. And another thing with Denny Hamlin, he has now scored the most wins for Toyota in Toyota's history in the Cup Series with 57 wins. Cool. Kyle Busch had 56.
That's so cool to me, because growing up, the poster child for not only Toyota but JGR was Kyle Busch, especially Toyota. Their first Cup win was with Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Kyle Busch has led that stat for the entire history of Toyota. I have to imagine. It's cool to see Denny take that over, one, because he's been with Toyota longer. I mean, Kyle Busch has moved on. And honestly, JGR, when I think about JGR, the most successful driver there, like, sure, he doesn't have a championship, but I'm like, man, it's low-key Denny Hamlin. Like, that's what these last few years, especially this year, has kind of like pushed him over the edge in terms of like, he's not just one of the greatest drivers that I've seen. He's like might be the greatest that I've watched in like this era. Like, he's on a Mount Rushmore with like Jimmy and Kevin and Kyle Busch
for the 2010s to 2020s era.
Like, since I've been watching NASCAR in 2008, 2007, Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and now like I can assuredly say Denny Hamlin. Like, he's up there. And I guess I could have before yesterday, but it's just like yesterday's just like it's just a sharp reminder of that.
I think yesterday really is just like a huge reminder of how great he actually is. Because now, like I said earlier, he's cemented in that top 10. He's he's cemented in that top 10 for a very long time, and he's getting these multi-win seasons every single year. And he's toward the end of his career, and he has said, like, I only have like 70 or so races left in my career. It's really remarkable. It really
He ain't slowing down, though. That's the crazy thing. It's like, when is he going to... Remember earlier this year, I predicted he might not win again.
I know. That's crazy. LOL. And I agree with you. I mean, the everything was against him coming into this year. He lost his sponsor, FedEx. We didn't even know he was going to get re-signed after what we saw with Kyle Busch. We thought maybe he was going to go to 23XI at a point last year. They re-signed him at Gibbs. He got a new sponsor with Progressive. He got a new crew chief, which he didn't exactly want. And he got Chris Gale, who is kind of unproven with Ty Gibbs. And he's just having one of his best seasons on record, 20 years into his career. I would have expected Denny Hamlin to be this good this year. It's really impressive. And I'm sure we have some listeners and watchers who are like, stop glazing Denny Hamlin. But we have some Patreon comments before we move on. This one's from Ben. Denny has been my favorite driver since 2007. This really feels like his last chance and best chance to finally win a championship as a driver. Get on the bandwagon or get run over by it. As Denny once
that needs
said.
to be on a t-shirt so bad. Like, you can imagine, like, sure, maybe next year he'll have an opportunity, but there's no guarantees in life. I think if the playoff format changes, though, low key, I feel like that would like give Denny a shot of like, yeah, I can win the championship now if he somehow doesn't get it this year. But I don't know. Is this year different? I mean, talk to me lap 200 at Phoenix. You know what I mean? Like, talk to me lap 200 at Phoenix. Maybe it'll be different. But I think it all kind of depends on if the certain Penske cars make it too. But that's a conversation for a later time. Let's talk about Hamlin versus Larson a little bit, I guess. Well, we talked about them before. Briscoe. Wait, what are we talking about next then? We already talked about Larson and Hamlin. What are we talking about next?
First of all, my mic should be right now, Zach.
Yes. Okay. It no longer sounds like you're on a phone call with me.
Don't know why it does that, but whatever.
You sound so beautiful.
Thanks. So do you. We have a Patreon comment about the Hamlin-Larson battle as well from Dirt. I don't know about y'all, but what Denny Hamlin did on that final run to the finish is exactly why I watch NASCAR. The 3-wide middle move to get by Bowman and Reddick. The battle with Larson, where his onboard showed Denny pushing the car to the absolute limit. Passing Larson and Briscoe within a lap and a half. Exquisite. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that was a really good battle. And in fact, like, I was emotionally a little like mad yesterday because I was like, man, that was Larson's race to win. It was that stupid caution that came out for, I don't even know what it was for somebody. Was it for Byron? Oh yeah, it was the Byron crash. LOL. I'm like, why did that caution even come out? They didn't need their caution for that. Come on. Yeah, that I was a Kyle Larson fan yesterday. And I think a part of that was because of the stakes too. Mm-hmm. Like, that would have gotten him into the championship. I think that's something the round of 8 really, that's why the round of 8's different than other rounds, because like it ensures your actual championship chance if you win in the round of 8. It's not just okay, you'll go on. Like, no, this is okay, you'll have a shot at the championship. I think the stakes yesterday really made that race intense too. And again, I hate the playoffs. I hate the first and second races in a round, but the round of eight's kind of the best of the best. Like, not in terms of the drivers, but the best of the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah. Well, Kyle Larson led 129 laps. He seems to actually be back. That was the most laps he's led since the Kansas race in May. He finished second. This is the 8th 1-2 finish with Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin. Hamlin has won all of those except one, which was Bristol earlier this year. And Zack, last week you shouted out one of our Patreon members, Blake. He's here with a comment for you.
Oh, I bet he is.
Blake says, "Hey there, guys. It's been a minute. I'm sure Zack is very excited to hear from me this week.
Oh, I couldn't wait.
After dominating the majority of the day in Las Vegas and having his main competitor get taken out in a wreck, Kyle Larson comes up short and misses out on a golden ticket to the championship 4. Once again, it gets away on a late restart. The question is there a more unclutch driver on restarts than the 5 car? And is this somehow all Zack's fault?" Zack, the floor is yours.
I did wear this Larson jersey. I wore it during the race yesterday because I was like, okay, yesterday I was feeling Larson energy. I'm like, today's the day. This is one of his better racetracks on the schedule. I mean, there's a few of them like that. But for being a dirt racer who races like 40 lap main events, why are we so bad on the short runs? What is going on? It's funny because Hendrick set themselves up as a short run car yesterday when they needed, or a long run car yesterday when they needed a short run car.
Yeah.
I guess it's just like because that's what they struggled with at Kansas. So it's like, okay, duh, this is the next step. Man, that's super frustrating. And I said it earlier with like, how Toyota dominated Kansas and Chevy won the race. That's just how NASCAR works. And it's great. But damn, we caught Denny. I mean, he just caught Denny Hamlin on the wrong day. Like Denny Hamlin decided to like win that race yesterday. That was what really got him. And
Blake does bring up a good point that, I mean, Larson dominated and then he lucked out that the 24 because first of all, Larson had lost a lead to Byron initially because Larson didn't know that his team wanted him to pit. So he pitted later.
Yeah.
So he lost a lead to Byron and then he lucks out. Byron gets taken out. We'll talk about that next. And then Hamlin just goes beast mode and just gets by it. Larson probably should have won this race yesterday, but just didn't have the car at the end.
At least it wasn't like, remember Homestead last year where like Larson threw it away? Like he was trying to get by Blaney and Dillon and stuff. Like at least it wasn't that kind of moment. He still has the best points cushion on the cut line. There's at least going to be one guy making it in on points. And at this point, especially with Hamlin now like winning and he's not going to take that point spot and Byron having a bad day, like Larson's looking really good on points. We'll look at the playoff graphic in a little bit. So that's at least good for the 5 team. Like that's why I'm leaving yesterday not too upset. And we're going to Talladega, which is actually going to be probably a good race for the 5. They're really good on super speedways if you've been paying attention. But you have to pay attention for that. I don't know. We'll see. Oh no, but Larson's going to finish second next week, be plus 70 to the cut line, and Blake's going to be like, "Wow, here's Kyle Larson not clutching up again." I'm excited for your comment next week, Blake. I'm very excited.
All in good fun. William Byron crashes out after Ty Dillon parks it in turn 4.
Parks it. No, you can't park there.
You can't park there.
What the hell was this? This is just like, I love all of the controversy that surrounds this in terms of like, what is Ty Dillon doing? What is William Byron doing? The playoffs are stupid. This is going to take the 20. I love all of this, right? And the drivers are blaming their spotter because they're driving the cars apparently. Like, what are we doing?
So Ty Dillon I think he's blaming the 24 spotter because he's saying that that his spotter should have told the 24 spotter who should have told William Byron. And I guess that's the usual protocol. But Byron's perspective was Ty Dillon didn't put his hand out the window, which I know that's the standard. I've heard that many times before.
Like, that's like a, hey, just in case you somehow didn't know, I am pitting, by the way, and you can physically see this.
Yeah.
That's a more direct line of communication. Like, the driver can see your hand. I'm honestly surprised this does not happen more.
Honestly.
I think what Byron was just kind of describing is during like pit cycles, you're more aware of it. So like if you have a car in front of you and you suspect that they haven't pitted yet, you're probably not even going to commit your car to the bottom. Like you'll probably run like the middle lane in 3 and 4 if I had to guess. So because Byron was talking on TV, like, man, I just was not expecting the 10 to pit at all. The pit cycle was over. Like this is just, he was running in the middle, kind of a little bit higher. And that's kind of what I want to bring up too. Like the 10, not only did the 10 not put his hand out the window, but he really wasn't, like, I guess you don't have to be glued to the white line, but there was enough space for the 24 to be running lower than the 10 in the corner. So that I just like, did Ty Dillon know he was pitting? Like, I know he was going to pit, but did his brain like remember everything that you have to do to make a pit stop? Like I am on the side of like, this is kind of on Ty Dillon, low key. Cause like, yeah, you could blame the spotter and say, oh, the spotter didn't communicate. But like, also again, you know what doesn't ever get failed to like get communicated? A hand out the window, number one. And if you're committed like more to the actual white line instead of floating up, then Byron's probably not going to hit you. Like, I don't know. I just kind of hate that it happened. I'm actually, I love that it happened, but
not to mention though, Zach, this was another Chevrolet. Like it's, you know, like if this was like a Catherine Legg or Cody Ware.
God, if that was Catherine Legg, oh my God.
Or Bubba Wallace.
My God, if that was Catherine Legg. Holy.
Like, I do think, quite frankly, this is maybe a hot take, that there should be like a fine for this or something for Ty Dillon or the 10 team. Like, that is unacceptable.
Well, yes, but like, I think it's like, I don't know, it's kind of a gray area because it's like.
It is a gray area. And
he was only up off the white line a little bit.
And like you said, like this, it's surprising this doesn't happen more often. The most recent one I can think of was an example I saw posted is when JJ Yaley did this to Mark Martin in a Charlotte race in like 2005 or 2006.
And like Quinn Half at Texas on like Christopher Bell. But those were more egregious examples. They were like clearly in the second lane. I feel like Ty Dillon was still like near the bottom. He just wasn't like on the line. And I think that's what really got like, Byron messed up.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like that this happened, obviously. But it is something that can happen. So it is a gray area for sure. In a perfect world, I really like how IndyCar does it when they raced at Texas, or it's like you have to enter, and NASCAR does this at Atlanta now. Like you have to be on the apron in turn 3. I really like that, to be honest. I'm not going to lie, because I feel like you shouldn't be having to slow down on the racing surface to get to pit road. Like that just seems super dangerous to me. It's again, how does this not happen more? It's a miracle it doesn't, but I don't know. This shouldn't have happened. It'll probably happen again, but it'll probably be a few years. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just sucks it happened to Byron, you know? I mean, this is going to probably... He's not the type, he's not the team that can go out and win. I mean, they have not been... I know they won at Martinsville a few races ago, but the fall race at Martinsville, they've been kind of struggling at. When the playoff pressure's on them, they just don't really perform. 2023, Byron, like in the 20s all day at Martinsville. Yeah, but then he won, like, remember the red Hendrick cars? Like, he won that race. Like, he's usually, Hendrick in general is usually better at Martinsville in the spring, I've noticed. Or at least, I mean, but even Larson and Elliott were fast in the fall race last year. It's like the 24 team, for some reason, I think it's low-key. I feel like it's the pressure of the playoffs. Because to me, William Byron as a driver does not perform well when he's put under pressure. He just really doesn't. Like, and yesterday, low-key an example. I mean, yeah, he got wrecked, but he lost the lead before that. Remember that huge bobble? Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, people were giving NBC a lot of like crap yesterday, and sure, they could have split screen it. But when they were showing the replay of Byron bobbling and losing the lead,
that's when Byron ran into Ty Dillon. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that, but people were like kind of grilling NBC about it yesterday. The thing with NBC, it happens with Fox every week. With NBC, it's like
that's probably the first time this happened with NBC this whole year.
Yeah,
Fox, that would have happened. Like, how many races are we in? Like 13, 10?
Yeah, it is what it is.
20 times. So
yeah, I guess they also missed the Bobble live too. That's why they're showing a replay of it. So
I will say, now that we have Prime, which was like incredible, and that's like NBC's A team that was over there. That team doesn't do the NASCAR broadcasts anymore, is what I've read. They do like NBC's like NFL or NBA, something else.
Fair enough.
So they don't have the Prime team doing the NASCAR races right now. But NBC is not just compared to Fox anymore. That's why I think they're getting more scrutiny this year. Yeah. But that was kind of an off-topic random thing. Yeah.
Back to Byron. Listen, he's really good at super speedways. Hendrick is in general. Like they are kind of up there with Penske, in my opinion, of teams that are able to have their cars at the front.
They're very good at being able to get all together, all four of them.
It's very consistent. Like every single super speedway race, I feel like they end up at the front. I don't know what it's going to be like compared to the Penske cars. We'll get more on that later. But Byron's best chance for the playoffs, in my opinion, and honestly, let me pull off the graphic now because I kind of need to see his points cushion. But I feel like Talladega is going to be a big week for him next week, in terms of like if he's going to be able to make it or not. So what, he's minus 15 to the cut line. Like, yeah, he can make that up, but we're assuming that like the Penske cars are your teammate Elliott don't win. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of assumptions to be making. And I don't know if I'd be comfortable making those assumptions. So, and that's also assuming he's not going to have a bad day in Martinsville, which LOL. So yeah, there's a lot to be worried about if you're not a Hamlin, Larson. And maybe that's I don't know.
Let's go through it. Let's go through it, Zach, because Denny Hamlin obviously gets the win. From Avery Hage, our good friend, he made a post saying that the drivers who win the first round of 8 race have gone on to win the championship 5 times in the 10 seasons of this format. So 50% of the time with this format, winner of this race has gone on the championship. 3 of those times were Joey Logano.
Yeah, so that's impressive.
Take that for what you will.
It's never been a Toyota team.
The other 2 times were Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Larson.
Yeah, there's definitely not a coincidence with that, right? Like, there's got to be some amount of like, now we can prep. It's just Joey Logano's been the one that can. He's been actually like showing that like every time it happens with him.
Yeah. But let's go through the rest of the points. Larson is plus 35. Like you mentioned earlier, I feel pretty good for him. Christopher Bell is plus 20. Yet again, just kind of not the best Toyota, not the best car, but he's like top 5.
I was really disappointed in Bell's performance yesterday. We haven't talked about him yet.
He was running like 11th for a while because SVG was in 10th. And I texted you, SVG is in 10th again. And then you said, why is Bell getting his ass beat by SVG on an oval?
Like,
you cracked me up. But
what was going on with like, what SVG's whatever, but like, I'm a little disappointed in the 20 team yesterday. And I know the 19 they were having did his pit crew make a mistake, I think, or was it a
not
penalty?
That I remember.
Remember something happened with Briscoe in stage 1. He lost a bunch of spots on pit road. They lost their track position, but the 20, I feel like, didn't really have an incident that lost them track position. It's just they just lost spots, and I'm like, what is going on with this 20 team? Because for Toyota yesterday, I'm just like, it felt like it was just Hamlin, low key. It was so weird.
I mean, Bell did finish 3rd.
So yeah,
he got in the end. Yeah,
he did come back for a good finishing position, which is like super important, like points wise. It's just stage points. Like he finished 6th in stage 2, 7th in stage 1, like missing out on some points, low key, and just the performance in general. Like he wasn't going to be up there with Hamlin battling for the win.
Yeah, and I think that
a little bit.
That's where I'm kind of concerned with him. I still have him in my Champ 4, but I got to see how Talladega goes for him. Like if he crashes or something, I'm concerned.
Well, that's me with this whole graphic. I got to see what happens at Talladega because
yeah.
I have theories on what can happen and what could happen. So much
Chase Briscoe is plus 15. I was texting our friend Jackson Todd, former guest of the pod, and I feel like with Briscoe, this finish might be like kind of, I texted you this too, kind of demoralizing for Briscoe, like mentally, because he's never really been in a situation before. You come this close on strategy, taking 2 tires, you're leading with 5 to go. To come that close, championship 4.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if that might be demoralizing, but also he's fast everywhere now. He's figured out the Joe Gibbs racing cars. He's always going to be up there. So Martinsville, he might be a threat still.
Well, he was in the round of 8, remember, in 2022, and he was like close at Martinsville, but it wasn't.
But that was such a fringe run. Like you were making fun of the idea of making the Champ 4.
Like now it's like he's expected to make the championship 4. Like that's been his whole year at GGR. He's expected to win races now, and he's talked about that. And this is another key moment of that. And for him, well, to be the lowest GGR car on this grid isn't the best thing either. Like, yes, he finished 4th yesterday behind his 2 teammates, you know, so you're kind of onto something there. I will say I was impressed with the 2-tire call and the execution of it, because honestly, again, if it wasn't for Hamlin getting by him, I was like, he might actually be able to hold this off. I think it was kind of over once he wasn't in clean air anymore.
Yeah.
Like that was the difference between him and Logano, because Logano was on that same strategy, but Logano didn't have the benefit of the clean air. So he couldn't actually, I don't
think he has the speed. He doesn't have the speed the 19 has either.
Yeah, but if Joey Logano was in first, though, he would find the extra 5 miles per hour. He would find the extra speed. You know what I mean? Like, in the clean air would help him at least. And he would block the hell out of him.
Yes. Byron minus 15. That crash with Ty Dillon definitely flipped the points here on Briscoe and Byron. Byron was, I believe, right with Larson on points until that incident. Yeah. So that's a huge point swing for Briscoe in case things come down to that.
Yeah, I think the good news is it's like we can almost assume that the cut line could maybe only move up 1 spot. Like if none of the playoff drivers win Talladega, because it's Talladega, then maybe Byron, you know, maybe he's minus 20 right now if the cut line were to be on top of Briscoe, right? Like if Blaney won Talladega or something. Yeah, but that's also kind of hard to assume. You know, it's almost like Talladega's Talladega, but does the 24 team do they feel like they have to win? That's what I'm wondering, because I think that's kind of the mentality for the round of 8 in general. I bet that's what Christopher Bell feels like, because I think he was in a very similar spot to this last year, but you know, Martinsville happened and Martinsville wasn't really good for him, and you almost have to assume that you're going to have a bad day at Martinsville. So you need, like, if you don't have a really big cushion, then you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah. So Byron's minus 15. Chase Elliott minus 23. Lost all his points from an uncontrolled tire in the pits.
That 9 team.
That was actually kind of entertaining watching him try and fight to get the lucky dog or just the lead back itself. He said on their radio, like, I got to get the dog.
I got to get the dog.
That was one of the funnier things he said. Just was not able to get many spots back after that.
He only finished 18th. Like that's girl. He had how many cautions? He did avoid the 1 wreck though. Like at least he didn't get in that restart wreck. But it's like Riley Herbst beat him.
He was Chase was right there with Larson and Byron most of the race. Like he was top 5, top 6 most of the day. To finish way down there, that's disappointing.
He's kind of in a must win, I think.
And the 2 drivers remaining in the playoff grid are Team Penske. Logano's minus 24. Blaney is minus 31. Logano did, as you mentioned, took 2 tires on that last pit stop, same as Briscoe. He was in the top 4. I think he was on the front row with Briscoe on that last restart. Yeah. But he just wasn't able to get that win. It would have been interesting if he's the one who got the clean air and Denny Hamlin had to get around him. Yeah. That would have been crazy. That would have been full circle with Kansas and Charlotte.
Like oh my God. Yeah. You say that like Logano wouldn't have the speed of Briscoe earlier, but I'm like, dude, it's Joey Logano. If Logano has the lead there, Logano wins that race. No, he wins that race. 100% he wins that race. I've never seen a situation where Logano's in the situation and he loses the lead. Like, he 100% wins that race. He would probably put Hamlin in the wall. I'm not going to lie. He would. I think Briscoe won, and maybe it was because of his teammate, but he just wasn't air blocking. Like, Logano is one of the best guys at it. And that definitely would have made a difference if Logano was the one that had the clean air. I fully believe that. But we'll never know.
We'll never know. The other car down here is Ryan Blaney. He had a tire go down and just DNF finished last. But Team Penske are now going to two of their best tracks, Talladega, Martinsville. Talladega, Blaney and Logano both won their fair share of races there. Martinsville, Blaney's won the last two fall races there. Team Penske could, in theory, be shut out of the Championship 4 entirely, which changes the Championship 4 outlook entirely. And in that scenario, I think that would make Denny Hamlin the automatic favorite, just from having these 2 weeks to focus on Phoenix. But until the checkered flag flies at Martinsville, Zach, until the checkered flag flies, I think the championship goes through Team Penske still. They could both be minus 30, Martinsville, like 20 to go or something, until that race is over. Like, this is not, they're not out of it.
I feel like you could ask all of the JGR and Hendrick teams, like, who would win if Penske wasn't in the Final Four, and they would like say themselves like, no, we have the best cars. No, we have the best cars. Like, we can beat Hendrick. Kyle
Larson himself said, yeah, we can compete with those Gibbs cars at Phoenix.
That's super interesting to me, and that really compels me on what's going to happen next week at Talladega. Because the thing is, Penske, yeah, they're going to have all of Ford behind them and helping them out and stuff. Like, and also, by the way, how intense are those manufacturing meetings going to be this week? Like, we've never seen Talladega in the round of 8 like this. Like, yeah, there's a very small set of cars that need to be assisted. Like,
is RFK going to be told by Ford, you are not allowed to win this race, you got to push to 12 or 22?
That is kind of what I'm wondering. Like, how is that actually going to work out? Are we going to see 3 lines of every single manufacturer's on a line? Yeah. Like, remember in 2019, it was kind of like that. Like, the manufacturer orders were so super strict, and they still are kind of strict these days. But honestly, it could get messy. That's kind of a story for next week. But it could get really messy. Like, if we're coming down to the checkered, and it's like, I don't know, whatever. My kind of what I want to bring up is, the issue here now is Logano and Blaney are both very good at Talladega, but they have to work together, and that's a problem.
They've never really had to do that.
This is a huge problem, because it's kind of at this point where it's like, sure, Blaney and maybe even Logano could win Martinsville, but you don't want to rely on that. But if both Penske cars are going to get in, I think they both have to win one of the next 2 races. To be fair, I think they could definitely farm points at Talladega. They could farm points.
It's possible.
They could dominate the race.
Minus 24, minus 31. Like, if they get 1-2 in the stages, they are right back in the picture.
But we can't assume that the Hendrick cars won't also be having a good day.
Right. You know? Like, it's possible Hendrick is 3, 4, 5.
You know what I mean? That's like, there's only so many points they can gain, and that's going to be the challenge, and them having to work together. Like, what happens if it's Blaney in front of Logano coming to the the checkered flag, and Logano has an opportunity to pull out? What happens?
Right. I have no idea.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, are you going to risk no Penske car winning at all just so that you can make the championship 4? Because that's something that Joey Logano is thinking about.
I'll tell you. Logano will make the move, but Blaney will be a good teammate and stay right behind him. I think I've seen enough of how good of a teammate Blaney is to Logano. Logano would not do that same favor. So if it's those two, 1 and 2, Logano's going to go for the win, and Blaney would settle for second if Blaney's in second behind Logano.
To be fair, Blaney has better chances at Martinsville.
Yes,
at least.
That is true.
But there's no guarantees in life. And I was thinking earlier, I'm like, there's actually a surprising amount of drivers who have made the Final Four 3 straight years. Byron and Blaney are going for that this year, going for that feat. Like Hamlin, Harvick, Busch, Truex, I think even Chase Elliott, like, they've all made the Final Four 3 years in a row. But it's hard to do. I think it's kind of a huge accomplishment, and Christopher Bell failed out on doing it last year. I'm wondering if if this is the end of the road for Blaney, because there's no guarantees in NASCAR.
I will say this. I think Logano has to win Talladega. I don't see Logano winning Martinsville. Blaney could win both Talladega and Martinsville, so I think Blaney's odds are a bit better than Logano just based off of who can win where. I don't see Logano making it on points. I think it's possible, as you laid out, but...
And my question too is how, I know again Ford's going to be all Penske, but like how are the other teams and manufacturers, like how can they sabotage Penske at Dega? You know what I mean? Because
take out the 2 and 21 cars, I guess. Give them one less car.
Like Chevy and Toyota almost need to like come together and be like, we need Penske to not have a good day. We cannot let a Penske car in this Final Four if we want to win this championship. I mean, that's how it is. And the thing with Toyota too, I mean, Toyota will not have numbers at Talladega. That's always been their struggle. Certainly it would be kind of awkward for them to work with Chevrolet, but like they've done it before. They did it before to go against Ford because Ford had a numbers advantage at the super speedway races, but Toyota was like, you know what? We will just work with Chevy. We have no other choice. I'd be curious to see. Talladega is going to be so interesting, mostly for the fact that we've never seen a race like this before. This has never happened before. Talladega in the round of 8. I'm curious to see how messy this can get, honestly. So
I think this might be a pretty messy race indeed. Your championship 4 right now, who would you put?
I can't tell if Penske's going to make it or not. You know what it's giving? It's giving Hamlin, Larson, Bell, and Byron. I got 2 JGR and 2 Hendrick.
I'm thinking Hamlin, Larson, Bell, and Blaney. That's not even bias. I really think Blaney's going to win one of the last 2 races.
Yeah. I have a feeling that the buck stops here. I just don't. I don't know.
We do have
I'm 50-50 on it though.
We have a Patreon comment from Dirt. Who are you more confident in advancing, Byron or Blaney? Byron's gonna have to do some point racing now. We both you had Byron in, I had Blaney in, right?
I feel like Byron could win Talladega. I know anyone can win Talladega.
Yeah.
I just feel like I think a Chevy's going to win Talladega.
I think with
my fantasy pick. I think Hendrick's winning Talladega.
I could totally be wrong, but I think with Talladega being in the round of 8, your winner is going to be one of these 8 drivers at Talladega.
That's what I'm thinking. I know people are like, well, Ricky Stenhouse won this race last year, but it's like, the manufacturers have been only getting more and more leaning into this, like the team orders, you know?
Yeah.
And it's only been getting stronger. It's only going to be stronger in the round of 8.
Yeah.
Like, and again, the only reason a playoff driver doesn't win Talladega most of the time is because there's a wreck. So there could be a wreck, but I think before the big wreck, we're going to see most of these 8 guys up front. So I'll be curious to see what Hamlin does in all of this too. Like,
he might just chill in the back. That's what he's been doing. But knowing him, he's going to want to break that tie with Harvick.
Well, not even that. It's more like him helping Bell and Briscoe.
Yeah, true.
Like Toyota's going to want him. Like, we don't want you running in the back. We need you to help Bell or Briscoe win this damn race, or keep a Penske car from winning this race. If I'm Denny Hamlin, I need to go to Talladega making sure Joe Logano doesn't win this damn race.
Yes. Right, you're wrong from Kansas.
I mean, sabotage. If you want someone to sabotage the Penske cars, you got the guy in the number 11. I'm just
push the 11 car to the win. It don't matter. A scenario I could see to block Penske is they push someone who's not a playoff guy, whether it's Toyota or Chevy. They push someone like Ricky Stenhouse, Kyle Busch, whoever. You know, just
that's what Denny Hamlin
wins.
That's one less week that anyone else could get to prepare for Phoenix.
Exactly. So if I'm Denny Hamlin, internally, I'm like, I'm going to push Kyle Busch to the damn win.
Kyle Busch.
Like,
you said push a teammate. Oh, I forgot Kyle Busch isn't my teammate anymore.
Sorry, my bad. Oops.
Girl, did you see Kyle Busch in the top 10 yesterday? Slay of the week to Kyle Busch. Slay of the week.
There was a post on Blue Sky that was saying, wonder why they're taking these cars to R&D and everything. And it was why did tech take so long? And I said they were trying to figure out why the 8 car finished in the top 10. That's why they're taking the 8 back to HQ, because that car should not be finishing top 10. Good for Kyle Busch, though. Genuinely.
As soon as Lee Diffie said Kyle Busch, I got nervous because I saw the 8 car getting like a weird arrow spot where like he was either entering or leaving the wake of another car in the middle of the corner, and I'm like, oh my god, he's about to wreck. I saw it happening. I saw it. He was like in the middle, 3 wide. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna wreck here. He's gonna wreck. He's gonna wreck.
I texted you. Kyle Busch is in the top 10. He's going to wreck. He did not wreck. Good for him.
He probably tried his best to, but he didn't. He probably tried.
Any other? I guess to answer Dirt's question, I don't know if we ever actually did. I'm going Blaney. You're going Byron.
I guess.
Okay.
I think Byron can still make it in on points, low key.
Yes, I agree.
I think that's why I picked him.
Ask us after Talladega. We'll have a better idea of the points after Talladega.
But Byron's good at super speedways. Like he obviously wins them. So
he's won them.
He's won a few big super speedway races. I don't know if you know, but
any other notes on the playoffs, Zach?
I can't wait to not talk about this next year.
Ooh.
The way you said that.
Is that a dreamy Zach bomb? Or
that's a dreamy Zach bomb. I have no sources except vibes. That's all my only source.
I will say, there was an interesting piece in NASCAR on NBC's pre-race where they had Kurt Busch doing a voiceover hyping the chase era. And he was like, there was no eliminations back in my day. And I was like, oh. Why are we hyping that up?
That's like propaganda. Like, that's so interesting to me. That's propaganda.
You're getting everyone ready for no eliminations. Okay, interesting.
I feel like they could, if they brought back the chase, they could actually market that low key. Did you see that if the points did not get any reset, Byron and Larson would be tied?
I did.
And there would be like 5 guys kind of in contention for the title. Like,
mind you, Denny Hamlin.
Oh, but they would race different.
Denny Hamlin is only like minus 40 points or so, like without any of the resets and everything. And he missed a race. He did not race Mexico City.
I forgot about that.
He's having a hell of a good year. If Denny Hamlin wins this championship, the people that I went full season, Denny Hamlin's a rightful champion.
I hate when people say, "Oh, but they would race different." No, yeah, we know, but I don't have fun. Can you have fun for 5 seconds?
To look at.
Yes. Girl.
My hot take is what you're talking about is what people should be looking at, and not the Winston format. I think the Winston format's fun to look at too,
but they race for stages.
That's different. Yeah,
they do go for stage points. So I think that's more. You should be looking at that. But anyways, that's that. That's the playoffs. Is it time for the tea?
We have one more thing before we go to the tea. Do you want to take off the playoff graphic, Zach?
I don't actually, but I will just for you because you asked me nicely.
Aw, thanks.
Oh, thanks.
So before the Byron crash, was the race any good? Patreon member Dirt wants to know. He said this was mostly a 550 HP intermediate race and that today's race was poor. I don't know if I agree with that, but the finish will likely flush that conversation away. How did y'all feel about the race prior to Byron's mishap? It was a very standard, basic, quiet race before the Byron incident. Like wasn't a lot going on, but I still enjoyed it. Like I saw a lot of people saying it was like a bad race, and I was like, I thought it was good.
I know the Coke 600 was good, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like most of these really good intermediate races are just because of restarts. Like, why was the Kansas race so good? Because of the finish, because of a restart. Las Vegas yesterday had amazing restarts, right? But then once it was like lap 20 through 30, not much was happening. It was hard to pass. That's why we weren't talking about tires much yesterday. It's just, it is what it is. And that kind of leads into our first point of the T, how NASCAR is increasing horsepower to 750 on all tracks shorter than a mile and a half in 2026. And I was really confused by this at first because my mind was still stuck in, like in 2020 when they had 2 different horsepower packages. Like they had 750 for short tracks and they had like 550 for the intermediates. My mind, when I read that, I'm like, I thought it was, the mile and a halfs are getting 750, like the short tracks. But I didn't realize, the short tracks don't even have 750 right now. And
Yeah.
this is really just for the short tracks and like Darlington and Nashville, and I guess Gateway or what.
Darlington and Nashville are going to be really fun next year just to see, because they're not mile and a halves, but they're more typical oval tracks that we go to, if that makes any sense. So I think that'll be interesting to see how they compare to the rest of like the mile and a halves. But yeah, I thought this was good news. A lot of the drivers were saying it's a step in the right direction. Some were pessimistic.
Like, it's not going to change much. Christopher Bell put his glasses on to say that it might not change
that was
much.
cute.
Christopher Bell, Christopher Bell with glasses? Yeah, that was cute. That was super cute. Good Lord. I can just ask you to put glasses on next time I want to see it.
That
can be your Halloween costume. That can be your Halloween costume.
That is very true. But yeah, I thought that was good news. Steve O'Donnell announced that on Dale Jr.'s podcast. He talked about a lot of things.
But girl, let's just do it at all tracks. What are we waiting for? Besides Super Speedway.
It sounds like it's a money thing.
Oh.
So,
you don't have enough money. I don't want to hear it.
Denny Hamlin does on December 1st when the truth will be revealed.
Jordan Bianchi on the teardown. Jordan Bianchi's dream. He wants Denny Hamlin to win the championship, and he brings the trophy to court.
I actually listened to the teardown this week, and I was actually agreeing with Jordan most of the episode. It was kind of crazy. I thought that was funny. I think that'd be a cool thing for Denny to do.
I don't know if that would help or hurt his case.
I don't know.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin is really struggling financially. This big ass trophy.
Next thing in the T, there's a rumor, according to Toby Christie, that Las Vegas is hosting the 2027 NASCAR finale. I have not heard this. I guess it makes sense. Like, it was talked about, like how Vegas could be in the rotation.
Yeah, it's one of the 4 tracks I feel like that constantly get talked about in the rotation.
Yeah. So thought that was interesting. And we have a Patreon comment from Finley who said, it seems like Las Vegas is struggling having 2 races. The F1 in Vegas next month is also not doing the track any favors. I feel like the championship race should not have 2 dates, no matter where it's at. Just make it
most tracks
solely
2 dates.
Yeah. Ideally, most tracks don't need 2 dates, period. But
I don't care if Vegas is one of them, though. Like,
do you think Vegas would be a good championship race? Like, I think 100%. It's kind of like, okay.
I think it having 2 dates. I think. Well, to be fair, Alex, I think you're thinking of it in if we had a 1 race finale. If we don't have a 1 race finale anymore, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
It's not that big of a deal then. And honestly, with Phoenix having 2 dates, I think that makes the championship a little bit better because with the 1 race format, because it gives all the other teams that spring race to try to catch up to Penske, for example. That's why I kind of fall. I get why you don't like it, but I've fallen off from like the championship race should be like a 1 date track. But Vegas would be just for the fact that it's near a vacation destination city like Las Vegas. Like it's a really good track. There's not a lot of tracks like that on the schedule that has good racing and it's in a good location. There's very few tracks like that on the schedule. And yeah, I mean, take it. It's a good weather. Like it's like what? It's Vegas. Like your options for the championship are Vegas, I guess Phoenix, and Homestead. And then what are your other options? Like
Texas?
I don't know if you can do Kansas. I don't know if you want to do Texas. Yeah. I don't know if you'd want to do Charlotte. I don't know if you would want to really do Bristol. Like Darlington would be stupid in my opinion. Like that's not in a good location. So Vegas is one of the best options to do it. But it would also be SMI, and I don't know how that would work. So I don't know. Right. But I'm fine with Homestead. I think Vegas being late in the season's kind of taking the spot. Like, remember Texas used to be like the 3rd to last race in the season.
Yeah.
That used to be a really intense race.
If they're going to scrap winner take all or whatever, I'm with you. Just keep it at Homestead. Like, that was perfect.
I think the season should end with Vegas, Phoenix, and Homestead, whether it's a 3-race championship round or the 10-race chase. I think that's just a perfect, because it reminds me of back in the day where it was Texas, Phoenix, Homestead.
Yeah.
Like Texas, Texas used to be one of my favorite races of the year because it was like this is the final chapter of the championship battle right here.
Yeah.
Like I remember Jimmy and Brad's battle at Texas. and how intense that was. Their door banging. I remember Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth at Texas 2007. Like good battles, good racing. Ends at night. It's great.
Yeah.
So
I do think it's a good point that Finley made, though, is that the F1 race is just a month later. And if they do move it to the championship race, it'd be even closer. It'd be the same month.
Yeah, but NASCAR needs to not back down from F1.
I do think it is a different audience, but if you're trying to get the casual people, then it's like they're probably going to go to F1. They're probably going to spend a little bit more money. Not a little bit, a lot more money to go to F1 rather than go to Vegas, which has been there for 20 plus years.
Yeah, and they don't have to travel out. But I don't know. I guess I kind of see that point. But NASCAR is in a position where I feel like they don't need to back down from F1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, maybe financially they should, but I don't care.
Little teaser for the T next week, especially when F1 announces they're going to sign to Apple TV like this week. I think the viewership for F1 is going to dive down. I'd be shocked if it.
I don't even have Apple TV, girl. What the hell?
It's going to be on Apple TV next year. No ESPN. They're shutting down F1 TV in the United States. Yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll talk about that next week. When it's confirmed.
I like NASCAR.
Yeah. Final thing in the T, IndyCar related, actually. Mick Schumacher tested for RLL today as of recording. IndyCar test at the Indianapolis Road Course. He is rumored to be replacing Devlin DeFrancesco in the 30 or potentially an additional car in the IndyCar series next year, which would be pretty cool. He said today to the media that if he were to run IndyCar, he would do the full season, including the ovals.
It's kind of crazy that he hasn't really had a ride, like in F1.
He's done like some WEC. He's done a handful of other things, but he's never really gotten a full-time anything.
Yeah, he was the Mercedes
reserve
test reserve driver for a little bit. I don't know if he still is. I guess not.
I think Valtteri Bottas is the reserve until the end of this season.
Because then he's doing Cadillac stuff, isn't he? Or is that
Valtteri's doing Cadillac next year.
Yeah. So I mean, I have nothing to say. I'm just, this is one of the bigger names from the F1 sphere, kind of on the level of like Roman Grosjean. I feel like, you know, how like a lot of F1 people are like looking at IndyCar when Roman Grosjean come over. I think it's going to be that kind of effect, which is a good thing for IndyCar. I think that's the way I look at it. I think this is really good news. And
I mean, the name Schumacher, that's major.
That's Schumacher on the same track with an Andretti at the Indy 500. Like that's cool.
Right.
That's really cool. That's
very cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that's going to happen. I don't know when it'll be confirmed, but his test today went very well from what the media is reporting.
That'd be
moving on to fantasy NASCAR.
Sorry, random. What if he somehow puts up a fight against Alex Palou? Like, what if he's just
No.
I don't know.
He's going to be driving for Ray Hall, Zach. Let's lower our expectations.
I'm not saying like for the championship, but I'm saying like at the tracks or like at the Indy GP where Ray Hall's really good. He might humble Alex Palou a little bit. I'd be like, you're not the biggest dog in this pound. I'm just saying. No. Well, when he wins round 1 at St. Pete, I am glazing the hell out of this guy.
No, that's not happening.
No.
Well, fantasy NASCAR is at Talladega this week. They were just at Las Vegas. I had the win. I'm back to back. I had SVG at the Roval and Hamlin for Las Vegas. You had Bell, who finished 3rd. I now have a 5-point lead. So
it's coming down to the wire.
If my math's right, don't you have to win 2 races because I currently have the tiebreaker with most wins?
Well, if I get a win, then I would be tied with you on the tiebreaker. No, you have most. Yeah, no, you've won 2 races.
I've won the last 2 races.
Oh, so I need to win 2 races?
I think so.
Girl, damn.
You got to do what I just did, which is possible.
But to be fair, I'll probably go into Phoenix needing, like, with the first pick. And that's pretty easy to pick the winner for. So I'm feeling fine about this. I just got to get Talladega or Martinsville. I'm going in this with a really good mentality. So I think Chevrolet's winning Talladega. I think it's going to be Kyle Larson. he's finally winning a super speedway.
Yeah.
He's not ending the season without another win. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
I think that's a good call.
I think it's finally going to happen. It's finally going to happen. Like,
That's been kind of a side storyline of the year. Is like, whoa, Kyle Larson's actually good on the super speedways, you guys.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's been, ever since the next gen era, he's actually been really good at super speedways. Y'all just don't pay attention. So who are you picking?
I also think a Chevrolet is going to win, and I really did think about Kyle Larson actually, but I'm gonna go with his teammate William Byron.
That was my second pick.
I think it's gonna be a Chevy. I think Penske's gonna have too many of them after them and blocking them, and just there's gonna be some sort of shenanigans. Maybe Logano wrecks again because Logano's been struggling to finish these races.
That's the thing. That's the problem. And Logano, like, he actually cares about this. Like, so he's gonna probably do some stupid stuff. That's the problem with Logano. I think he overheats, like, mentally at these tracks. Like, he just gets overheated.
And I do know that when I made my Champ 4 picks earlier, I did not have Byron in mind. I don't care. I don't care. It don't matter.
I mean, at this point, you're just trying to get, if you can get me from scoring even one more point.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Do you clinch? I think you low-key clinch. It depends on the tiebreakers. You'd be very close to clinching if you earn another point, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know how the tiebreakers look. Yeah.
But we've been like tied in all the tiebreakers all year in our fantasy game.
Yeah, it just depends on our finishes. Who did I pick? I picked Bell yesterday, and he finished third. So that might fare well for me.
Well, one of our tiebreakers a few weeks ago came down to third, so you just got.
So like that's a really good finish for me. Like third, that's good.
Championship might come down to that. Who knows?
Thank you, Chris. My championship got won in Las Vegas. Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, we'll be following that. We'll talk about Talladega next week. Petit Le Mans was this weekend, but we didn't really have anything to say about it.
It was a good race as usual. Like, it was coming down to fuel mileage. The biggest story is Aston Martin's hypercar program got their first podium in IMSA. That was really cool to see. That was kind of sorry, energy mileage. They don't call it fuel on the broadcast. They call it energy, virtual energy, whatever
it's called.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Penske won the championship.
Yeah, they did.
What was cool is Lawrence Vanthor had to fill in for one of the other Penske drivers, and he had to drive stints in both of the Penske cars.
That's crazy.
Which was like really, really funny. And I saw a funny tweet that his brother Dries, who drives for BMW, had to battle his brother in both Penske cars.
Just couldn't get away from him.
Oh my gosh. So, but yeah, like good. I did like, I don't have anything to say about it because I was just kind of watching it casually. And I had other stuff going on Saturday, but it was good as usual. I love IMSA. I wish I could get into it more. Go check out the highlights if you didn't watch it. There's a lot of good racing this weekend. I heard everyone saying Bathurst was like the best race ever.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd love it. I just can't get into supercars. It's just on at weird times. I have a bedtime. Like, I work at 8 a.m. Like, I'm sorry. I can't do it.
No, 100%. That
sounds like it was a banger, though.
Yeah.
We'll wrap up this episode here. Thank you for watching or listening. And thank you to our Patreon members for their support at patreon.com/gayracingpod if you'd like to join in on the conversation throughout the episode. Just $2 a month to do that. You get $5 a month for early access to any bonus videos we want to do. We have some things we want to do in the off season. So $5 a month for anything like that. Consider giving us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and liking on YouTube. We're only 10 subscribers from 600 on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed, help us get there. And follow the podcast at Gay Racing Pod on all the socials. And follow us, Zach and I, at Dreamy Zach Racing and at New Gaiden on all the socials.
I think F1's at Coda next weekend or something.
They are. Yep.
I hope it's not on there in Talladega.
It probably is.
Again, like I know F1's bigger than NASCAR, but like, girl, You need to stop trying to think you can compete with NASCAR at Talladega. You don't know what those rednecks love. I'm just saying.
Oh, NASCAR's back on NBC this weekend too. Rest of the year, the Cup Series.
Girl, NASCAR's bringing it to F1. They're bringing it to F1. Like, oh, you're gonna. Well, we're racing at Talladega, so good luck.
Yeah,
it's not like we're at like the middle of nowhere, like Kansas or something. We're like, no, we're having a race at Talladega.
COTA used to always be on Kansas race day for like several years.
Yeah, I remember you were at the race during it was one of the years where we were really into F1 or something.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time to talk about NASCAR at where we're going. Talladega should be God. I know I'm gonna be on here next week mad about something. So tune in and subscribe so you don't miss it. See you then.
Bye.
Denny Hamlin's magical milestone win locks him into what might be his final championship 4 opportunity. And what do we think about Williams Byron? Williams.
Williams what? It's okay, take your time.